Two of the most storied programs in college football history will square off this Saturday in Ann Arbor. The Scarlet Knights, in their 145th season, have played more games than any other team in college football. They'll head to the Big House to take on the all-time winningest program in the NCAA, the number 16 ranked Michigan Wolverines. Here to talk about that game, I am joined by Tom Luicci. Now, Tom, the Scarlet Knights face another stout defense in the Wolverines. They're ranked second in the nation in scoring and total defense. How important will it be for the Scarlet Knights to get their playmakers involved early?
Well, it'll be huge. It's going to be a challenge to run the ball this week because Michigan's so good against the run. I think leads the Big Ten against the run, leads the Big Ten in total defense. I mean, this is what you would expect from a Jim Harbaugh team on the defensive side. And I think on the offensive side, Michigan having power football, running game based, is what you would expect from a Jim Harbaugh team. It's going to be a challenge, no question about it. And fortunately, I think all three Rutgers running backs are healthy and running well. It certainly helps, as we've seen, if Leonte Carroo can play. That certainly opens things up on offense. We don't know his status yet, but yeah, I would think it's going to be imperative for them to at least somehow establish the run. And I thought for a drive against Wisconsin last week, they did that when Josh Hicks carried, I believe, 11 times, led to a field goal. So they had a little glimmer there of being able to do that against a good run defense. So we'll see what they can do on a consistent basis at Michigan.
It seems to be an ongoing trend for the Scarlet Knights. They'll face another team with a question mark at starting quarterback this week. It's Jake Rudock. How will that impact the Scarlet Knights defense?
Well, what Rudock brings to me is experience, but you know, two things about him. Let's be honest. I think this is the kind of quarterback Jim Harbaugh likes in this sense. He's got experience. He knows the offense well. But on the negative side, for me, he doesn't stretch the field. We haven't seen that. There's not a lot of big plays in this Michigan passing offense. Rudock, too, the other issue, maybe Rutgers can take advantage. He has 7 interceptions this year. So he's had a tendency to make a bad throw now and then, and that's something certainly that would benefit Rutgers if they can take advantage.
This time, Rutgers will visit the Big House. It's the second straight week the Scarlet Knights will play in front of a big crowd. How should they prepare for another big atmosphere?
Third time this season at Penn State, too. This is what you get in the Big Ten. I mean, next year when they go to Ohio State, another 100,000. We saw that last year. Basically, this is the Big Ten. You know, they won't get Wisconsin every year, obviously, but they're going to get a steady diet of Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. They're going to be in big stadiums. That's what this league is about, and I think they have the experience from Penn State that's going to help them. Last week at Wisconsin, I didn't know if it was a huge, intimidating crowd, but it's certainly a large place. I think they're getting used to it. You know, I don't think that phases them. I don't think that's the issue here with this Rutgers team. They've handled the crowd noise. They just have to be a little bit more effective and consistent on offense.
Well, I can't let you go without talking about that night in Piscataway last season. The Scarlet Knights earned a landmark victory against the Maize and Blue.
No, it was a great win, and the funny thing is, this is essentially the same Michigan team talent-wise. Obviously, it's a different coaching staff. I think they're a little different offensively, but one of the great nights since I've been here, and I've been here a long time, one of the more memorable nights here in Piscataway. There's no question about it. Great victory for the program. We're always going to remember certain things. You remember the pandemonium in Piscataway. You're a Rutgers fan. You remember that. You're always going to remember Kamoko Ture's block, the field goal block. You're always going to remember that. That's just one of the highlights. And beating Michigan is certainly, it ranks up there. Regardless of the season Michigan had, when you beat Michigan, it's a big win.
Well, thank you, Tom. Again, that game will be this Saturday. Kickoff is set for 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to BTN to catch that game live. Reporting from the Hale Center with Tom Luicci, I'm Fatoumata Diallo.